Hello. So I'm about to go to bed. It's roughly noon currently. I'm gonna go to bed. So I'm gonna bed for probably 8 to 9 hours. I've got a client that's located in Japan right now, and so as a result, in order to be on his schedule, I must be on a different schedule, and that is one of the interesting aspects of freelance, is having to adapt to other people's schedules. But one thing that I've wanted to do for a long time is to do a channel, or to do a series of videos essentially where I just get to talk about the things that interest me, or that spike during the day. I think a lot, and so as a result, this is sort of a platform where I can articulate my thoughts. And there's also people who happen to know me know that I tend to write most of my poetry right before I go to sleep in the late AMs in my standard schedule. But I figured now's, there's the Japanese saying, right? I think it's Japanese in origin, that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the next best time is today. And so I figured, let's stop putting it off, let's just do it. And then right before I go to bed, I get that hit of inspiration. I want to talk about something. Let's talk about it. No editing, no fancy intro, just talk, right, every day. The topic that I want to talk about today is actually got a little bit of a backstory, not too much. And it's just that, I do content writing. Freelance content writing, and I do business consultation and things like that. And my aunt, whom I live with currently, and she's a very sweet woman, she'll send me like little job postings that she sees, and most of the time they're not really relevant, or they're in a completely different field, but it's the gesture, right? It's sweet. And occasionally she sends me something that actually is good, and I'm like, wow, okay, cool, thank you for the lead, right? And it's just nice to have people in your life who are positive and send positive things your way. And you appreciate things like that, and you try to show a sentiment where you can. But she sent me a lead today, actually, and it was for content writing for a business called Olive Oil Times. Just a business that just markets content about olive oil. And on its listing where you apply, it has a subsection that says, that Olive Oil Times is the largest content provider or article, magazine, whatever. It's a publication, right? It's the number one publication about olive oil and the Mediterranean lifestyle. And I thought to myself, well, how common could that be, right? How many olive oil publications are there? Where, who do you see that's just like, I gotta check on my olive oil news today? And then I started perusing their site, and I see the content, and they've got all kinds of news, slanted content. And it was almost like a culture shock to me, which is weird because, when you're in marketing and you're in advertising, and that's your profession like it is mine, you encounter so many diverse businesses and entrepreneurs who are always building something unique, building something different. And this was just something that I was just like, this couldn't be profitable, right? This couldn't be actually a successful model. And so I pulled up some rankings on it. I looked at site traffic. More men are viewing it than women. More people are viewing it at work than at home. The average demographic is someone in like their early 30s of like a incredibly high college background. So from moderate to like high above the average for college education. These are esteemed people that are going to Olive Oil Times. And it kind of really dawned on me. I mean, you always see these stupid products that people come out with, the Snuggie or the Shake Weight, whatever. You see some made-for-TV, some simple little thing, and, truck nuts. And you're like, it'll never work. It'll never fly. And they make millions, man. And as an entrepreneur myself, where I invest the majority of my profits into business ventures for the sake of making money, it's just, sometimes it's so refreshing to see an idea that has found success, and it is a very successful business. The rankings are incredibly high. It shocked me. It just reminds me that if you have an idea, no matter how silly of an idea it seems, not to disregard it. Another example before I get into the wrap up for this is there was a company that I recently read about called Let Me Draw a Cat for You. They went on Shark Tank, they got a deal on there. Just some guy who you pay him $10 on PayPal and he'll draw you a shitty stick figure cat based on what you want him to do. And has sold like 18,000 or some odd, like you guys cleared like 200 grand drawing stick figure cats. And there's like practically no investment cost. It's super duper simple. Dude made a killing on it, had a huge, investor in it over something that is just ridiculous. It was like a WordPress site thrown together. I saw another website, I'll give you one more example I saw recently, where the guy was like, hey, I hate glitter. Do you hate glitter? Send people that you don't like envelopes of glitter that's bound to get everywhere. And it was just some WordPress site they threw together. They hosted it up for almost no money. And the orders that they're going to get, even if it's not a huge business that takes off, even if it's not Olive Oil Times, it'll pay for the investment cost. Surely. It's just hosting. They didn't get a big developer to come in. They picked a standard WordPress theme. They threw stuff over it, and it was good to go. And I think stuff like that's fascinating. This metric, this global dynamic of where marketing is going, where anybody can just have an idea and throw it together, and it becomes a functioning business. It's really fantastic. And so the moral that I just want to hit on, I want to drill in for today's session, and I think I'm gonna do this every single day. I'm gonna try. The thing that's really stuck with me today is like this reinforcement that if you have an idea, don't toss it, man. Work on it. Reform it. Some ideas, they're not good ideas. Eventually, under scrutiny and a microscope, you'll find that they're just not functional, but there's so many ideas in passing that I think we disregard, that we kind of go through this filter in life where people send us these messages and these ideas and this energy, and we just screen it, and it just gets filtered out. Don't filter it, man. Let it hit you. Really think about what people are saying and what people have as far as their ideas are concerned, because you just don't know when you're going to hit the next Olive Oil Times. And that's really it, man. Just write your ideas down. Actually start forming them. Take steps to make them a thing. It doesn't take a lot of expertise to get a basic functioning business up. You don't need a content writer like myself. You don't need some marketing exec to come down and tell you how to brand your product. If you want to make a corporate image, sure, but there's plenty of businesses that function without it. So I'm not going to tell you to, follow your dreams, but dude, follow your fucking dreams. Like, if you have ideas, make them a reality. You have that capacity. I'm going to go to sleep now.